Hey everybody, Gigi Barnett here from Story Sell Your Brand, coming at you from indoors today. It's a beautiful day in San Diego, but I just decided, you know what? I want to be inside and drink some coffee and get a whole bunch of work done because we have a summit that's coming up, and a summit to introduce you to some folks who have crushed fear and who have been able to get their business, their brands out front and center, out in the media. And I'm going to tell you more about that a little bit later on. But I want to get into my post today. But first, if you are new to our group, if you're new to Story Sell Your Brand, thanks for being here. I'm so glad that you are here. Let us know who you are. Tell us your business. Tell us if you have seen some success doing your own public relations. Because, as I always say every week, we love success stories. If you are a repeat customer, that means that you are returning to Story Sell Your Brand, to our posts. Thank you so much for being here too. I want to start this post off because the topic, the title, I kind of struggled with, and I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. But I want to tell you a story that just it got my attention so much this week. And that's because my husband was telling me about, some of you guys don't know this, but he is his background, he has a clinical background and he's a registered nurse. And years ago, he used to work in a psych ward, a psych ward with the military, which it can be pretty harrowing. And a couple of nights ago, after we'd finished dinner, he was sitting at the table and he was talking to me about, like having a plan. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get a plan for this, this, and this." He goes, "Because I need to have a plan." And I'm at loading the dishwasher, and he says, "Yeah, without a plan," he goes, "You aren't gonna do much." And I go, "Well, yeah, we know that." He said, "No." He goes, "Really?" He said, "When I used to work in the psych ward," he said, "the patients who shot up at the top of the high alert list were patients who were suicidal and who actually had a plan to carry it out." So I was like, "Really?" I go, "You never told me about that." He goes, "Yeah." He says, there were many factors that, would put one patient on a high alert list and another patient wouldn't get on it. But he said, if we discovered that they had a plan, he said they shot up to the top of the list. He said, "I had this one patient," he said, we like to talk to them, especially if they're not like, in a crisis mode, or if they're not having some type of a mental breakdown or mental crisis." He said, "But I was talking to her this one day, and she was talking about, I asked her, why she felt suicidal." And he said, she was going through the whole list, not being able to, feeling like a failure, not being able to accomplish certain things, and a really rough relationship with her parents and that kind of stuff. And so, he asked her, because he's been trained to do this. He asked her, he said, "Well, have you ever thought about how are you going to do this?" And she said, "Yeah." She goes, "I know exactly how I'm going to do it." And he said, "What are you going to do?" And she said, "I've been saving up my pills for the last 4 months." And he said, when she said that, he's like, bells, whistles, red flags, everything for him went off. And he said, because he's like, "I realized, one, she had a plan. And number two, she'd been planning this for a few months now. And this was something that she had probably already put into practice, put into place, and she was ready to do it." And he said, "Do you know what happened?" He said, "From the time I got on that psych ward, whenever she was under my care," he said, "You know what I did to her?" I said, "What?" He said, "I never left her side." He was like, she was high alert all the way. And that got me thinking. I was like, wait a minute. So patients who are suicidal, who have a plan, are the ones who are the most likely to carry it out. Even though it's not a good plan, right? Even though we don't want to hear about somebody killing themselves, the ones who have a plan are the ones who are most likely going to follow through. And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Man, so until you have a plan, you're not serious." And he goes, "Nope." Man, that got me thinking too. So then I said, well, but she was talking to you about her plan. I go, wouldn't a suicidal patient not talk about their plan? He said, well, you would think that, but really telling me about her plan is a cry for help. I was like, oh boy, telling you about her plan. And he said, yeah, because, instinctively, we all have like this innate drive for self preservation. We don't want to kill ourselves. We don't want to see things that we love in our lives die, much less ourselves, right? He said, so when you are thinking about killing yourself and you have this plan and you talk to somebody about it, he said, the thing is that people, the untrained ear doesn't know how to pick up on those red flags and what to do with that plan and with the person who comes to them. So I just said, man, okay. So I said, let's take it out of this context of being in a psych ward and let's take it to a person who is healthy and sane and who has a business. If you've been thinking about doing something and you have a plan and you get someone to help you, the chances of you surviving and having life and seeing life in that area really happens. It takes off. And that leads me to you. You got to get a plan. Getting your name out there. You've been thinking about doing it. I want to get my business on TV. I want to get some more exposure for my business. I want to get my brand in front of the right audience. You've been thinking about doing this. My question to you is number one, how long have you been thinking about it? The second thing is, do you have a plan? If you don't have a plan, get one. And that leads to, if you don't know how to start that plan, get someone to help you so that you can see life in this area. I had to bring that to you because that is so powerful. Think about it. If you've been thinking about it, get that plan and get somebody to help you. It's something that we hear all the time, but few people put it into action. Okay. So let me know what you think about that. I really want to hear your ideas and your thoughts on having the plan, what kind of plan you have, if it's the one that you really want, or if you just need help in crafting one. At Story Sell Your Brand, we can help you do that. And if you want to know more about what we do at Story Sell Your Brand, what we do is we help service-based entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, service-based businesses get their name out in the media, get more visibility. We have as I mentioned earlier, we have a summit coming up on how to crush fear, and we're going to unveil some leaders in their industry on how they crushed fear and got their names out there and pushed their brands even forward in the mainstream media and in niche media. And we're going to start unveiling that next month. So go to storysellyourbrand.com. You can also, we're going to post it here on Facebook so you can see that as well. And if you're looking, as I mentioned, if you're looking for a plan and you need some help getting your name out there, we will give you a free 20-minute consultation at Story Sell Your Brand if you really have that plan or if you're really looking to craft one. Okay, you need to get that plan. Reach us at storysellyourbrand.com and I'll see you later.